Hey, so it's me again. Had a couple weekends to kind of work on the C5. Not having to take that long commute to work. And as usual, I fixed one thing just to take something else apart. So I'm not going to make this video long-winded. Um, if you remember in the initial video, I had to take apart the amplifier. I had to remove the capacitor, take all the trim, run new wiring because I wanted these hoops, which actually came out really well. I was able to cut the carpet. Actually came out good. This one I just need to retape, but the seams are actually pretty nice. And I actually have a Corvette emblem that I'm getting custom made as a guard to go over top. You do want that to be cut just in case you ever have to remove the carpet for anything else. Hindsight is 2020. I think that if I would have done this again, I probably would have cut the back instead of the middle. These hoops aren't like some of the hoops that I've seen online that are like removable and have a base. So, you know, obviously you have to be able to get the carpet over top. But that being said, I mean, it worked out really well. Again, I ordered some double-sided heavy-duty tape that's actually supposed to keep that together like that. But fortunately, I probably got to take the old tape out and retape it because the other side seems to have worked out pretty good except for that small spot. So no big deal. But again, in the process of doing that, obviously I was scouring the internet and I found something that piqued my interest. For all of you who follow me, you know that I installed a 12-inch sub in the back. I have this MenaceAudio 900 watt amp, which is a dual channel. And so that seems to work good. I explained on the other video, I replaced the rear speakers. I'm gonna tell you the highs that I get out of those are wonderful. So those crappy Bose speakers that you have in there, if you look at my previous video, you'll see a link for some speakers that are 4-way that I installed in the back that fit without modification. And they sound wonderful. I believe they were 250 watts. But then, you know, you can never have enough sound, right? So I'm scouring the internet and because this is a Corvette convertible, you know, I obviously don't want to, you don't think a whole lot can fit back here. Sidebar, I didn't know these had struts. For the longest, I was actually holding this up because I'm like, all right, let me put the top in, put top down. Never dawned on me that there are struts in the rear here that you can go on Amazon and replace for like 19 bucks. And they work good. I mean, this thing works excellent with the struts in, but that's just a little sidebar. But again, I was scouring Facebook and, you know, my other cars, you could fit a speaker box in. This one you can't. And so I'm like, okay, I came across this voice bar. If you got a convertible with it laid flat, you got about 6 inches from the convertible top to your front. And so I went online and I found this MenaceAudio Voicebar. And so, I mean, it looks small, but I was intrigued. And I said, let me see if I can fit that. And so I have a MenaceAudio amp, and sure enough, the voice bar fits just like that. Now you might be laughing and saying, look at that little speaker box. One, I'll tell you this, when you have a convertible, you need all the sound you can get. But two, these voice bars are sold out for a reason. They actually have super bullet tweeters in here that go in the mid. They're 1 inch. And then on the rear, they have mid-range 4-inch speakers. And if you go on YouTube and look at somebody playing these, you actually have people pumping anywhere from 500 to 800 watt amps to power these. And when I say they're loud, listen, go online and look. I wasn't a believer. To me, bigger is always bigger magnet, louder. But I'll show you in a minute the magnets that are on these things. It's exceptional. So now I'm going to have to add an additional amp and a bass controller for this because it actually fits perfect. Again, I'm not gonna put the top down, but I'll just tell you, just to give you some, you got 6 inches from the rear. That's only taking 4. So you can put the top down without issue, and then you can get the much needed sound. Now, I will say this, I came across this, I paid $30 for it without speakers. The speakers that I bought, the speakers that came with it were all blown. I knew that, but you know, when you own a Corvette C5 convertible, you'll realize really quickly how limited space is. This is why I decided to go with the 12-inch sub in the floor, because they're so limited on space. So that's called a MenaceAudio Voicebar. If you give me a minute, I'll take you to see the speakers. And I implore you to do some homework and check this out. So give me a minute. You gotta forgive me, but I'll take you to take a look at these. So these are actually MenaceTW25BL Menace super sensitive tweeters. These go in the middle, bullet style. These would have came with the box original. So I was able to locate these. Unfortunately, the 4 inches that go in the box, which are VS models, were made specifically for that box. So did a little research, did a little fitting, and I came across a company called Duval. Now, this is a 4-inch Duval speaker. Now, this has a built-in tweeter in the grill. This is the actual front facade of it, which I thought was really nice because you can't put a full 4-inch round on that box because it's so small. But this is what I want to show you. Look at that. Look at the magnet on that 4-inch SK22. 4-inch, man. I don't think I've seen magnets this size on 6.5, 7s. I mean, look at that. The cap. This thing's going to hit hard. And so I'm looking for mids and highs. This is actually a mid-range. But between the mid on this and the high on this super tweet, that's some sound. And it's directly behind you. So these are 225 watts. And what you're not going to believe is that I ordered these online. These super tweets actually came from MenaceAudio. They're 300 watts. And they cost me $20, which I thought was a heck of a deal. Until I bought these duvals. The box was shipped to me. You see it clear as day. These are Duval shocks. I've never heard of this company. I have listened to the sound. I have looked at the ratings. They're pretty good. But I paid a whopping $4.99 for these. $4.99. So I paid $30 for the box. I paid $4.99 for the speakers. And I paid $20 for your tweets. The original voice bar box was close to $300. So I would say that's a great deal. So if you're a Corvette enthusiast and you're looking for something to fit back there, obviously you can fabricate and build something yourself. But I didn't go that route. I lucked up and found one. So, you know, when it's hooked up completely, again, I'll reach back out to you via YouTube and play it for you. But as of now, the mad scientist is going to get to work, start putting this together, and hopefully I can have it done by at least this weekend so you can hear exactly how this particular system sounds. What I'll probably do is just hook up like a 4 or a 600 watt amp to it, just to tell you how it pumps. Because I already know between the speakers that I put in my door, the 12-inch and the rear 5.25s that I installed, with the addition of these 2 super tweets and these SK highs, the convertible is going to rock. Till we meet.